Mm. Welcome. It's been a long time. It's been such a long time. And I'm really excited. I, yeah, been spending the past few months living, living, being in the streets, being at the altar, being, traveling, doing all the things. And hey, Jada, we in the house. That is very true. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a brief collective message for just something to hear that came on my heart. Hey, Deja, from the ancestors, a word of encouragement and acknowledgement that I draw from uh, Marimba Ani, who wrote a really, oh, it's clipping. Can you hear me? Is this better? Let's see. Uh, sorry if the audio is a little chopped. I Yeah, maybe my mic is like, "Girl, who are you?" It's been a minute. Let me see. Well, yes. So we're gonna read a bit from "Let the Circle Be Unbroken" by Marimba Ani. And hmm, oh, true, touche. Uh, let's see. Hi, Donnecia. Mm. Let's see. Let's see. I wish I could have tested the sound before I did this, but y'all let me know if it's still is it still acting or sounding weird? Just let me know. But yeah, so I've been today just basking in the beauty of justice, one of the most unrighteous and ugly, horrible people in the world. Uh, Lindsey Graham, Lady G, has thankfully and hopefully painfully passed away. He is gone to the realm where they go and has hopefully, left a lot of space and room for folks who are actually righteous to be in his space. But the ancestors wanted to encourage us today by reminding us of what has been, reminding us why we live and why we survive. Yes, ding dong, the witch is dead. And soon come, many more will join him. I started reading this just for my own personal edification, and I thought that the song for ancestors that starts this work would be one that would be really good for us to start our time together today. And so we'll start with the second part of the song for ancestors, where they say, "We feel the pain of our ancestors, who thousands upon thousands of years later were torn suddenly and brutally away from all that they knew, who were torn suddenly and brutally away from all those who loved them and whom they loved, kidnapped from sons and daughters, sisters and brothers, mothers and fathers, grandparents, husbands and wives, never to see them again. We cry for our ancestors who were torn suddenly and brutally away from all that they and their ancestors before them had built. We feel the pain of our ancestral being. At the onset of the Maafa, the killing of sacred human beingness, as we were being ripped from the womb of Africa, suddenly and brutally disrupting the meiotic rhythm of African civilization. We cry for our ancestors as they were stolen by cowards who needed to disconnect us from our source so that they could gain power over us. Cowards who stole us in the darkness of night, tied at the wrist with rope, wooden coffles placed on our necks, forcing us to walk in single lines, sometimes hundreds of miles, to the central west coast of Africa. We cry with the pain of family betrayal and violation as sick, perverted, spiritually crippled Africans help the terrorists for individual profit and the illusion of personal power. And we honor those ancestors who were killed in the attempt to save us. We cry for our ancestors who were thrust into the pain, chaos, confusion, and trauma of the Mayafa, the most relentless, long-lasting, culturally devastating, destructive, and genocidal reign of terror ever perpetuated by one non-human race against the sacred humanity of Ma'a. Our men were beaten and beaten and beaten when they resisted imprisonment and sometimes sodomized, when the perverted tastes of the terrorists demanded it, and our men fought. Our children, too, were raped, sodomized, beaten, and imprisoned, and they fought the predators as best they could. These were monsters who raped our sisters, our daughters, our mothers, and our grandmothers, our nanas. And they didn't stop. In the dungeons, on the ships, in the holding pens, the plantations, and in all of their prison places. Our ancestors were incarcerated in dungeon prisons, stone structures, designed by Yorugu brains to block the sun and warmth of Africa. Hot irons seared the flesh of our mothers, fathers, and children without any relief from the pain of the burns, as they were branded with the names of the criminals in their ships. Names like Hilfiger, Gucci, and Nike. And we fought. We cry for our ancestors, whose consciousness is our consciousness, whose pain is our pain, as they were made to sleep, eat, and relieve themselves on the same hard, filthy dirt floor. We were kept in these conditions, sometimes up to 8 months at a time, struggling with feelings of anger, fear, despair, and abandonment by family who should have come to rescue us. And we fought. We had nothing, not even gourds with which to pour libation. Our women were separated from our men, chained and crowded, sometimes by the hundreds, into cells taken out at night to be raped and raped and raped and beaten with the butt of guns as they fought and fought and fought against the violation of their sacredness. 3. And then our ancestors were taken out through doors and through holes. We grabbed rocks and earth and each other, anything we could hold on to stop them from separating us from life. And we fought. We cried and screamed as we realized that the small boats into which we were thrown were transporting us to ships which waited in the sea. We yelled and resisted and were beaten as we were being taken away from the one connection that had not yet been broken. Ships called Jesus took us away from our mother, disconnecting us from our lifeline. The Jesus ships were stealing us from our birthland, from Africa, and we fought hard. They pushed us and shoved us into these ships, first called Jesus, and then integrity, and John the Baptist, and other rhetorical epithets. They packed us efficiently as merchandise into the Jesus prison, robbing us of African life force. These criminal terrorists chained us in pairs to stop us from fighting, squeezing us into non-spaces which prevented us from standing upright, and confined us in prone or crouched positions which stiffened our joints, many of us having to learn to walk again upon reaching the hellish destination which they had determined. As the Jesus ships traversed the Atlantic, Their holds became like furnaces with, at time, not enough oxygen to keep a candle lit. The only air we had to breathe was filled with the stench of our feces and urine and our blood, and mucus from our wounds, and blood from our menses, and vomit from our illnesses, and the sweat of our bodies, and the stifling odor of death without rebirth, as the living were chained to the dead, undiscovered for days at a time. The stench of the slave ships could be smelled for a radius of 5 miles at sea. When those soulless terrorists did come upon us, if they suspected one of us having smallpox, they threw us overboard. Sometimes they dumped whole cargoes of us into the sea in order to collect insurance money from companies that became rich and got their start gambling on the safe transport of our lives and labor. Lloyd's of London. Sharks changed their migration patterns because of the bodies of our ancestors, which were available to them in the wake of those unholy Jesus ships. The volume of this capitalist exploitation of African life, the distance of geographical dislocation, was 10 or more times the volume of any such crime known before or since. These voyages of unprecedented evil took an average of 8 weeks. When we could, we organized ourselves to take over the ships, killing the psychopaths and returning to Africa. Over 100 million of our people were murdered during the wars of resistance, the kidnapping, the disease and brutalization of the dungeon incarceration, and the Torasi Otuko horrific sea transport, Baba Walumi Baruti's term of the Mayafa. They became our collective ancestors. We do not know their names, but we know who they are, and we honor them. We are descended from those who physically survived this prolonged assault, and we have inherited their incredible strong will to live, as well as their deep, deep, deep soul scars. It is compelling for us to ask ourselves, what possibly could have given their/our lives meaning or purpose? Why did they choose life? Why did they continue to give birth? What could have given them hope in the hopelessness of Torasi, Otuko, and beyond, this dreadful period of the Mayafa? As the ships disconnected us from the source of power and strength, as they disconnected us from Mother Africa, they also separated us from each other in ways from which we have yet to heal. In modern Mayafa, we forget the pain, suffering, and triumph of our beloved Bakulu. We have forgotten why they survived. We have forgotten that we are their hope. We have been blinded to Apam, the ancestral promise, which tells us what it means to be African and why we have returned. As we asked ourselves what extraordinary hope could have been made for the survival of our ancestors through such horror, we have come to understand that we are that hope. Our ancestors had to survive so that we could be born. We are the only thing that makes our and their survival worth their immense sacrifice. We had to be born so that we could perform the ritual of Sankofa and continue the process put into motion by our ancient ancestors tens of thousands of years ago as they began the work of African civilization. We had to be born so that we could destroy destruction, thereby defining the Mayafa as only a temporary disruption in the process of African civilization. We had to be born so that we could do the work envisioned by our ancient ancestors, but which couldn't be realized until now. We had to survive so that we could be born again, to organize, to sacrifice, and to fight. in order to build an African sovereign world order, an African right order based on the righteous principles and the truth of Mayat, the only justice, which solely comes with power. Ashe. We were born for a time such as this, one that may feel dark, that may feel all consuming. For some of us, we have lost almost everything. Some of us may have lost almost everything. But know that your survival, that was the prayer. The prayer was for you to be here. The prayer was not for you to have every single bit of capitalist gain that you could have. Yay, they want you to survive, but that don't mean they want you to be out of integrity with yourself. The prayer was for you to be here as you are, in the way that you are. You don't need to be skinnier to be loved. You don't need to be lighter to be loved. You don't need to be lighter to be seen. You don't need to be You don't need to have a certain number of followers to be seen. You don't need to have a certain number of degrees and certification to do your work. The prayer was for you to survive. The prayer was for you to survive. The prayer was for you to survive. Your survival is enough. Your survival is enough. Your survival is enough. Know that your ancestors rejoice because you survived. And so many of us are here to take our lineages where they have never been before. Our lineages know destitution. They know brokenness. They know, unfortunately, the power of anti-Blackness, the power of European white supremacy. They know how it feels to have body and spirit broken. But the prayer was that you would reach back and survive. If it's not enough, if it's not enough, if survival is not enough, that means you are not in alignment with your destiny, baby. If you looking at your life and you trying to figure out why it is you ain't got this, that, and the third, you have taken up comparison and said that is your portion. Comparison will always be the thief of your joy. You don't know what someone has sold, given away, buried, thrown away to have what they have. And what they have, most likely, is not for you. And if we're looking at white people especially, we know that what they got was stolen. So your task is to survive. Your task is to reclaim. Your task is to honor yourself, your Ori, your ancestors, those who love you and know you. That is your task. Mm. 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 Mayamu kuneishi. Daya desike. Ooh. Whew. Somebody feels guilty for surviving. Somebody feels guilty for surviving. They say the knowledge of surviving is not enough. Yeah, so what? I'm here. It's too damn hot outside. So what? I'm here. So what? I'm here. They using Chat GPT to make rabbit version of themselves. So what? I'm here. So what? I have survived. The water is undrinkable. So what? I have survived. I can't eat the salad at the store. So what? I have survived. My mama don't talk to me. So what? I have survived. I can't have the kids I thought I would have. So what? I have survived. The love that I looked for and longed for hasn't come yet. So what? Why be grateful for this life right here and right now? If you cannot reach for gratitude, if you cannot reach for gratitude for your survival in this moment, in this time, know that your spirits and your ancestors don't need your thanks to be grateful for you. Unfortunately, and fortunately, there is nothing that you can do to turn away from the love that has brought you here. This feeling is temporary. It is one rooted deeply in comparison. You might be on social media a bit too much. You might be a bit too accessible to the collective nonsense that be. It's time for you to put yourself in the center of your own life, to make your life so delicious, so erotic, so filled with you and your desires that gratitude is the first thing. Mm. It's time to release that burden. You cannot save the world. Your task is to survive. Your task is to survive. Mm. Ashe. So we're going to start with, so I'm an air sign. So we're going to start with the air signs today. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to pull a few cards for the air signs, the Geminis, the Libras, the Aquarians, the Virgos of the air signs, as I call them. Some words of encouragement. Spirit, please. I thank my ancestors. I thank the Most High God. I thank those spirits that love me and know me. I thank you for your presence, your protection, your wisdom, your knowledge. The collective ancestors, those that move towards the elevation of Black and African people, those who know that our task is to survive, I call upon you. Those who did not take respectability as their marker or their portion, I call upon you. Those warrior spirits, I thank you for your presence and for your power. Thank you. Oof. I am reading with the Jesse Ujazi's Flora and Fauna of Africa Oracle deck. And I'm also reading from a new acquaintance. We had the pleasure of reading together at BookCon. Gary DeAndre, his deck, Tarot for You and Me. I'm using that tonight. So let's see. What words do we have for the air signs? My people, my people. Oof. Yes. Spirit is calling for us to be fearless. Air signs, we got the gift of gab for a reason. If you've been avoiding saying something, particularly for those of us who have prophetic gifts, who dream in visions, and you've been hesitant to share your vision, you've been hesitant to share, you say people gonna judge me for this. Someone needs to hear you. Someone needs to hear what Spirit has placed in your mind and in your heart, particularly those in a professional capacity. They need to hear you. They need to hear you. If you work like in a professional capacity, you work spiritually. Folks are afraid because of all this fascist repression, but every single voice must be heard at this time. Mm, every single one. Even if it sound a little wacky, a little kooky, honey, just let your voice be known. So the first thing that came out from Jesse Ugaji's deck was the Springbok, and it is paired with the oak, which is a plant for devotion and duty. The Springbok, it gives this knowledge to us, this wisdom to us here. It says, focus your energy and deal with things now. This is how you turn your fantasies to reality. So, this one is for me, period. I know that. Focus is definitely what is needed for us. So many of us are having creative downloads. We're having a lot of sparking of ideas, and it's important for us to focus our energy at this time, and so that we can are able to share everything that's needed to be shared. Period. We love to see it. We love to see it. Taking our bodies back from colonization. Absolutely. The second thing, or the second animal, quote unquote, non human being that's here to support air signs at this new moon season is the crested porcupine. The crested porcupine is also standing with our plant ally, the monkshood, which is about fearlessness. So the encouragement here is to face your fears, open up and be vulnerable. Isolation is not the only way to protect yourself. Ooh, yeah, they coming for me with this one. Isolation is not the only way to protect yourself. Proceed with caution and confidence. So some of us been hiding. Some of us have been squirreling ourselves away in hopes that that would save us from harm. Mm-mm. We got to come forward. We got to come forward. There's also a message here around the establishment of wealth, the establishment of wealth through using our gift of gab, using our gift of the tongue, sharing generously what is on our hearts and our spirits. For some of us, that involves, right, finding balance between our vices. So embodying temperance, and that vice being treating isolation, right, as the cure all for feeling unsafe. Right. So finding balance between being visible and having your time to recharge. For some of us, right, finding balance between the ways that we choose to escape from the horrors and terrors of this world, whether that be through spending money at Sephora, uh, going out to a nice meal, right? But Spirit is really talking to us about the establishment of wealth through the ideas and the thoughts that we receive at this time. So pay attention to, mm, wow, I really love that it's this synchronous with your um, July Terrascope for Gemini. Yes. Right. So lots of inspiration and ideas are coming to us at this time. If you're like me, every day you're like, "Oh, I could do this. I could make some money doing that, or I could do this, or I could do that. I can make this offering," right? We have the power and the ability to establish wealth and abundance at this time. And oh, Jada, I bought the perfume. I'm wearing it now. Go ahead and get it. Run. Go on and get it. Uh, it's delightful. Uh, and it is truly fated for us, right, at this time. So The wealth, the abundance, the things that you establish at this time are fated, but it is truly up to you, right? When we talk about the wheel of fortune, it is a card of responsibility as well as a card of surrender. Understanding what is ours at this time, right? What is ours to carry, what is ours to know, what is ours to put forth into the world is essential. And we must do so, because there is a very, very, very strong collective anxiety that is happening right now around a lot of different things. And it's warranted, but now more than ever, it's important for us to establish our own sense of stasis and balance. Okay, for my fire signs, my Leos, my Aries. Both of these. Oh, period. Okay. My Leos, my Aries, and Sagittarians, formerly known as Sagittarius. You know, I love me a fire sign. We be out. I have a Leo Mars. It's in my 10th house. It's in my midheaven. So I be down with the Leos, but the Sagittarius, there's only about 3 of y'all that I could really, really get with, could really jive with. But let's see. What is the collective message for fire signs? Whew. Yeah. There's this, there we go. This feeling of fear, almost to the point of self-sabotage. Some of you are thinking about launching new ventures. You're thinking about moving into new spaces in your life and career, most particularly, but you're afraid. And it's simply because you are used to receiving praise. You're used to receiving a certain kind of recognition where you are. You're used to a kind of, it's not even like where you are is exactly comfortable per se, but it's more or less like the devil you know versus the one that you don't. But there is a reason why folks come to you with their burdens. There is a reason why professionally you have the load that you have. And it's not because you can't do nothing and nothing nowhere else. Those around you, those who surround you, understand just how capable you are. They understand and know that you are a charismatic mouthpiece. They understand and know that you will take the word, the deed, the action. You're willing to go the distance to ensure that things are done. And for some of you, you are long familiar with the practice of doing that for yourself. But for so many of you, you've only practiced that for others. You've only seen fighting and going the distance for others as the worthy venture to put all of your energy behind. That needs to change. So, to support that change, we have the golden wolf. And the golden wolf, I love this. The wolf is I don't like to use the term spirit animals, but it's one of the non-human animal beings that I work with. For those of you who do or may have done EMDR, we cultivate these emotional mental supports called resources in that therapeutic practice. And one of my resources came to me during an EMDR session in the form of a wolf. This great wolf spirit walked with me and help me understand more about creating boundaries, particularly in a professional, in my day job. And that was really beautiful. Here, the golden wolf is paired with the plant ally, the native wood violet, for intuition. And their wisdom is self discovery is never ending. Embrace the changes you need to make to evolve to your fullest potential. Got that dog in you. Absolutely. And for you, it's big, big, big dog. Big dog. The second animal being that is here to support us is the octopus. And the octopus is paired with the plant ally fever view, which supports flexibility. And so their wisdom is make progress, not announcements. Ooh, that might hurt some of the Leo's feelings. Ooh. Your next win requires some privacy. You can multitask and be more efficient without the distractions. So, Spirit is calling for you all to release something. Here we have two eights, right? We have the octopus, and then we also have the eight of chalices. It is time to walk away from that failed project, that failed relationship, underscore that failed relationship. Do not go back from where your ancestors, your spirits, and your own or we have delivered you from. It's time to let go of those stories that tell you that your goodness can only be proved through the changed behavior of others. If they didn't love you the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth time, they're not going to love you this time. If they didn't show up for you the first four, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time, baby, they're not coming through this time. Some of you are choosing connection over your destiny. And that is a pattern of self-sabotage for you. You walk away from your dreams, you abandon your dreams because you are afraid of loss. Because there were times where you lost things and you had no control over it. But that's okay. Things will never be what they were. Things will never be what they were. Once you have taken the time to do the work, we have the judgment card here. Once you have taken the time to do the work, for some of you, the work, the letting go will forcibly happen. Your ancestors, your spirits are literally cutting the ties. You trying to figure out why you reaching out to that person, you're not hearing from them. It's because the ancestors they did the ancestral block. It's deeper than AT&T, what AT&T can do. Okay, it's deeper than what Apple could do. Because you have to move on, you have to let go. But on the other side of making those decisions, aligning yourself with your destiny or realigning yourself with your destiny, releasing those patterns of self-sabotage that choose broken or inefficient connections over your destiny, you shall inherit the earth. Not shade. And the 2 8s here, it's giving, let go, release these cycles so that you can move into deeper abundance, better self-knowledge. All right, my water signs. My Pisces, my Scorpios, my Cancers. What plants, flora, and fauna support do we have for you during this season? Huh? I'm screaming. Screaming. Which one? Bottom. Ooh. Uh-oh, somebody running from their calling. Uh-oh, somebody said they not trying to be at the altar. Somebody said they running from their calling. Oh, I hear you. You say, why can't I just be out in the streets like these other people? Why do y'all want me to do more? And your ancestors said, we did not pour that talent into you for you to run away. Period. This is so funny. I'm screaming. Okay. Yeah, that's a Cancer. Whoever this is, you running away from what you're supposed to do. But that's okay though. Things about to switch up. Things about to switch up for you. Like you about to hit a wall, a place where you can't run. You're gonna be trying to figure out why nothing's moving. It's because you're supposed to be the thing that's moving. You're supposed to be moving towards your destiny, your calling. So the reason why I left is because the first one that came out was the Emperor Scorpion. So the Scorpio energy is super strong. So much so that y'all calling upon the Scorpion here. The Scorpion is paired with the banana flower for expansive thought. And the wisdom here is to protect your peace. Trust your intuition and remove negative energies from your life. There are new things and experiences to make space for. The second animal spirit that is here with us is the magpie shrike. And the magpie is paired with the petunia. The petunias are so beautiful. And the petunia connotes priorities. And the wisdom here is true peace is found in spiritual fulfillment. Get in tune with your divine self to reach your highest potential. For my water signs, this will be a season of rapid change for you. For some of you, there's a groan there because you're tired of life changing. 2026 has been a year where so many things have been different. You've been wanting to be still water. I love the babies. I'm so glad. You wanted to be still water. You wanted to be that lake with that little algae growing on top. You wasn't trying to really move. You said, oh no, I'm planted here at this job. I'm okay here with this person that loved me but kind of don't. I mean, if I love them, then it makes it work. I'm okay here with this friendship where this person doesn't meet my emotional needs. I'm making it. That survival thing that you was talking about earlier, I'm doing that. I want to encourage you to think about survival not as the ability to endure or to suffer, but survival as the capacity and the ability, right, to sow your desires, your dreams, and your destiny into your life. Survival is not just the ability to live again even after your enemies have tried to kill you, but survival is also the ability and the condition to build a life that you are happy to live. We are not just happy surviving the darts of our oppressors. That's the bare minimum. We just got to do that. Your joy is not just in being here, though that is a joy. It can be so much more expansive than that. There's a need for community and communion. as well, but community that allows you to grow and change, community that moves with you and it allows you to flow. We moving from lakes, no offense to lakes, but we moving from that lake to that river. We moving from that lake to that ocean. We have the 8 of lanterns here. We also have, which is a card that talks about fast change and movement. When I see the 8 of lanterns paired with the 6 of chalices, which is the 6 of cups, and the Queen of lanterns, I understand that to be quick movement, quick change, things moving in your favor, but moving you towards a place that is divinely and ancestrally orchestrated for you. One where you remember your ancestors, remember the work that has been done, the prayers, the literal physical work, mental, emotional work, the healing, the delegation, sometimes a refusal to heal that brings you to this moment. You are going to be in a place where you grow and you become and you move as the Queen of Wands. You move sensually. You move towards what turns you on. You move towards what makes life feel good for you. In order to do that, you have to make a decision. Whose life will you live? Who is sitting at the center of your life? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Who is able to tell you, dictate to you what your destiny is? It is my prayer, my hope, that it is only your already. Ashe. All right, I said fire, water, air, earth. Earth. Oof. Okay. Spirit, what you got to say to these earth signs? What's going on? The collective energy for the Tauruses, the Virgos, the Capricorns. I have a Taurus Venus, and I'm messing with a Taurus right now to let y'all in my business a little bit. And it's going pretty well. It's new energy for me. I did a Virgo before. That was chaotic. I'll never do that shit again. No offense to the Virgos who will listen to this. But yeah, Taurus energy is a very different kind of earth energy, like a soft earth. If that makes any sense. But I do still got deep love for all of y'all because y'all be keeping me steady. This one. Keeping me steady in all of my air sign chaoticness. Virgo and Taurus present, period. Yeah, well, your Virgo, Jeida, yours and your spouses, that's not the kind of Virgo I don't fuck with. That's not the kind of Virgo I don't fuck with. I fucks heavy with y'all. Taurus moon, like 5 Capricorn placements, and that is why your voice moves the earth in the way that it does. All that earth, period. Oh, Michael, hey, Taurus rising and Venus, baby. Oh, here we go. That's what I thought. All righty. So for my earth placements. Uh-oh. Y'all ready for love? Y'all ready for love? Some of y'all said no. Where my money at? I heard that. You trying to figure out what your third, fourth job is. Cap moon. Ooh, y'all cap moons. Y'all dangerous. Y'all dangerous. I have deep love for the caps. I have deep love for the caps. Can I get one more card for my Earth placements, please? This one. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Period. Y'all ready for love? Cause that's what it's giving. That's the energies, but the energy is giving. It's giving some new relationships. Something new is coming. Some of y'all been asking for this for a minute before I even look at the cards for real. Some of y'all been asking this for a minute. Y'all been praying, hoping, pleading. Please send me as Kayla says, 1111, God send a nigga with the racks. Lil Kayla, the song's called 1111. I listen to it to pat myself up, and she be like, 1111, God send a nigga with them racks. That's what y'all calling for. Some of you are calling for and truly it's giving an expansion in your romantic and platonic life. One that you didn't expect for. And for some of you, it's definitely going to bring you increased business opportunities. But one thing to be mindful of, and it might be part of that survival guilt that I was feeling earlier, is, and I'm going to say this in the plainest way possible. If you are in alignment with your destiny, doing the things that you're supposed to do, you're going to be doing better than most people. If you in alignment with your destiny, you doing the things you're supposed to do, you're going to be doing better than most people. The strife will be something that you observe. Folks might be looking at your life and trying to figure out why you're not as down bad as them. And I know if you're a Capricorn, it's because you save everything and you think that life is struggle. So you're not about to ever put yourself in a situation where you don't have what you need. But dead ass, it's okay for you to be doing better than other people. It's okay. I think one of the things that, on a personal note, that kind of annoys me about social media right now is people feel like they have to perform a certain kind of, um, how do I say this? There's this weird thing where people kind of perform. They say, "Well, in the midst of everything in the world going wrong right now, I hate to be that person to say, thank God I graduated. Thank God I'm making X amount of money. Thank God I'm doing this, that, and the third." And I know for some people it's not a performance. They are holding complicated feelings of grief, etc. But if you're feeling survivor's guilt, go ahead and let that go. It's okay for you to be doing better than other people right now, especially if you are in alignment with your destiny and you're doing the things you're supposed to do. You deserve goodness. You deserve to have a good life. It's okay to trust that. Spirit wants you to trust that. Spirit wants you to trust that the hard toiling that you've been doing, some of you with dry, barren earth, you've been taking fucking clay and you done figured out the magic formula to make shit grow in clay. Some of you been taking concrete, figuring out how to make things grow in concrete, and you've benefited from that. It's okay. It doesn't make you, mm, it doesn't make you, how do I say this? Uncaring, unempathetic. It doesn't make you out of touch with others' suffering. It actually puts you in a position to help others alleviate their suffering. Imagine that. Imagine being able to give from a place of joy and completion. You can do that. You ain't got to perform suffering for nobody. Period. See? You ain't period. Anyway, I really if you can show us what these candle holders and the Kanga play look like. Uh I would love to see it. If you send me a picture, I would love to see it if you feel inclined, because I'm sure it's beautiful. The animal spirit support for you at this time to help you move into this place of self acceptance, of saying, okay, I am in alignment. That means I'm feeling better. I'm doing better. I'm doing all the things. Hi, Marcus. Motown Marcus. Good to see you. Would be the red-headed vulture. And the vulture, I love you. I love that your nephew said thank God for the miracles. Oh, oh, this makes me miss my nephews. Okay. The red-headed vulture is paired with the Scotch thistle, which supports self-respect. And it says, accept your flaws and strive to be a better you. Learn from your mistakes and move on. It will be very rewarding. Yeah. Y'all about to reap what you have sown. Oh, did I show this? And we also have here the chimpanzee. The chimpanzee is paired with the chickweed, which supports expression. And their wisdom is to get creative and explore your curiosities. There is so much to learn and enjoy all around you. Spend some time in nature and with friends. Not to beat the horse of spending time outside, being outside. But for the earth signs, we have the three of chalices, the three of cups. Y'all supposed to be outside. Y'all supposed to be enjoying yourselves. Like I said, you ain't got to perform suffering for nobody. It's time for you to believe in the work of your hands and have some fun. Have some fun with people that you love, people that you trust. For some of you, this fun will look like I I'm out here making money with my friends. I'm out here doing pop-ups with my friends. Some of you are going to be involved in like pop-ups where you're selling the things that you make and you're going to be partnering with others and it's going to feel fun. It's not going to feel like more work, even though I know y'all like work. I know y'all it sounds like work. Uh, we really have, yeah, so much water here, which really gives me the sense that, yeah, y'all got to be out, be moving, be more expressive. We have the Ace of Chalices and the Queen of Chalices. So you will feel this refreshing, this renewal. But this is really a season and a time for you to release, right? We have the vulture here saying what has been dead is dead. We consuming that, we recycling that, we repurposing that, right? The dead flesh becomes nourishment in the vulture's stomach. And so for you, right, the things that are dead and gone, the things that used to be you, right, you have to release now. It's okay. You've learned whatever you needed to learn so that your life could be good now. Let it be good. Allow yourself to reach a place of emotional fulfillment and clarity. You deserve that. A warning for a couple of you. There are some folks in your spheres who you have an intuitive knowing that it's time that they're part of that kind of them dry bones, some dead flesh that need to be chewed up, eaten. Well, birds don't chew, swallowed, and repurposed, redigested. Allow yourself to trust your knowing at this time. The moon card talks about secrets and things hidden, but I get the strong spiritual sense that things are not hidden for you when it comes to this, but it's a matter of you trusting your own intuition about someone. And if you look around and you don't feel nothing about nobody, then it don't apply. But for some of you, right, those stories that you've told yourself about how you deserve to be treated in your platonic relationships, especially, are shifting and changing so that you can really bask in your emotional fulfillment at this time. Period. So I am open to doing readings for people. I have one person who signed up in advance. If you would like to have a live reading here today, just put it in the chat. I'm looking. But I am going to go ahead and transition to the reading part of this. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. You said bye. Hey, what did I do be saying stuff sometimes. I don't know. I do be saying stuff. Ooh. Okay. So, Spirit. Kapan. Yes, please. If you could, because I do not have my keyboard with me. As far as like if I see your note, D, about putting the pay handles in the chat. Spirit, Queen's ancestors, what do you have to say? What comes to Queen in their romantic life? I don't know if you are poly or not. We did not have that discussion. Okay. There's two things. I don't know if you're poly or not, but your spirit team really encourages you to think about expanding your conception of what a romantic relationship can look like. They want you to do some experimentation. They honor and know and recognize, we have the 4 flags here. They honor and know and recognize that you've had to take some time to rest, some time apart after a series of heartbreaks. Time to know and to learn yourself and learn what you need. And learn too what feels good to you in connection. You were in a period of rest. And I want to highlight that. Were. When you decide when you are ready, when you decide and you are ready, you are going to go upon a journey of exploration. You're going to change what you think. This next step in your love life, your romantic life, will shift how you feel about romantic relationships, how you feel about yourself. You'll have the opportunity to play with a few people. And not, I know you ain't gonna do nobody dirty, and so I'm not saying play like, Joe and Big Pun, I don't want to be a player no more. I'm saying play like have fun. It is okay to release the burdens of the past and to move into something new. Trust that those who come to you seeking romantic love in this time, particularly over the next, I want to say the next year and a half, trust that they mean what they say, that they're going to take their time with you, that you can take your time to know them. And if you choose one or many partners, it doesn't matter. It's supported for you to have as many partners as you need. But they're going to be, yeah. And they're going to have money too. I'm getting a sense that, yeah, they're going to have money. But yeah, the Six of Cups just spilled out. Yeah, your ancestors especially want you to do some experimentation. Do I need to say this or I experimentation, gender identity as well. So there is someone unexpected who might have a gender identity that you don't normally choose, who might show up for you. It's okay to give them a chance. Try it out, Oh, oops, I didn't mean to bump the mic. Try it out. Move at your pace. Don't let nobody play in your face. But things are going to be really changing for you over the next year and a half. It's going to be real beautiful. Let's also see what I have the Love Oracle of Eden here. I do that for love readings. Let's see what these connections are going to feel like or perhaps bring to you. Okay, so also I see Jeida, Marcus, and Donnecia. Marcus, Donnecia, if I miss you, let me know. Okay. What will these romantic connections bring for sweet, my sweet friend? Oh, we love to see it. So the first one that popped out is respite. So this person's going to bring some, I see you too, Deja. This person's going to bring you a break. It's going to feel like nothing you ain't never felt before. That's really the biggest, like when I say big change, like you are someone who tends to predict things. Like you like when things are predictable. You like when you're able to foresee, but this is going to be something that's going to take you by surprise. And so much so that you're going to be able to like rest a bit. This is somebody who can do some planning, someone who's very organized, and they just meet you where you are. They show you that you are amazing and loved and beautiful just as you are. I don't necessarily mean beautiful in like a feminine sense either, but just beautiful as in full of beauty. Something wonderful to behold and to hold and to have. And they won't feel the need to possess you in ways that feel scary or unaligned with your own self-determination. So this is a relationship that brings respite. It also is one, I was looking to see if there's anything relevant here. One that allows you to do some reflection. But the biggest warning here is not to compare people to folks that you've been with in the past. So reflect as in, oh dang. Yeah, that I did used to deal with that. I did used to accept that. But not hold the past in the present so that you're not able to chart a new path in the future. This is a relationship that will deepen your connection to your ancestors, to your faith systems as well. This person might be a practitioner, but I get the sense that You two will be doing workings together. And I think that will be very, very fun. This will also be a passionate connection for you. And passion is not necessarily something that, how do I say this? Like, it's not something that's like born overnight. It's something that is built over time. It's deepened over time, but it's going to feel like, wow, y'all really did y'all big one with this person. I have so much love and care for this person that I've never really held or felt for someone before. So it might not look like how others imagine passion to look, right? The kind of lustful, sexy, super sexy, or oversexed understanding of passion. This one is one that takes time to build. And I love that for you. Yeah, I can't wait to know and love the queen uh, as they, transition through this new beginning in love. Mm, okay. Jeida, is this a general? Of course. I'm gonna assume so. Okay. Jeida. Spirit, what do you have to say to Jeida? First things first, Jeida. Some support with the babies. More support with the babies is coming. More support with the babies is coming. And it's not gonna be like expensive support. It's gonna be support that is long, like it has a longevity to it. And this support will be one that will allow you to write. Um, yeah, there are some writing projects that you have been chipping away at that um, this support will allow you to do more than chip. We're digging. We're digging deep. We're not just using a little ice pick. We bringing up the shovel. If you see any grants for writing, be sure to apply. Be sure to apply. Don't count yourself out. Don't say that you don't have the capacity or the time. Don't count yourself out. Don't turn yourself away from your blessings, because mm, I hate to say it like this, but it's it's overdue. The intervention from the written work is overdue, but not in a pressure way. Just more so like the collective needs it. So the writing projects, in the podcast, if that is something that feels like accessible to you, just make them both overlap. Like the podcast is, a page or two from the writing project, or, whatever. Bring the two together. And also, yeah, if supporting the podcast space, I'm more than happy to help. But there will be support with child, uh, they call it child rearing. I don't know, but there's support coming there for you so you can have more time. The other thing that's coming forward is, yeah, you're about to hit like another level of elevation in your spiritual practice. This is something that has been in the works for a while. Obviously, behind the scene, your spirits have been really, really watching you step into visibility with much joy, with much gladness. And now they're ready for you to enter into a new door. We know the expansion that's coming romantically. obviously. But there's a new boldness that's coming for you. You already talking your shit, but there's still a little twinge of niceness here. It's a little twinge of fun, but I mean, if you don't like to hear what I have to say, then I'll just a little twinge of that. And these next, I'm hearing these next couple months, especially like through August and September, Bahudu Heritage Month. It's giving brand new beach. It's giving brand new beach. I'm saying that because I know there are kids in the room. Beach, you know? And we're we're moving with the sibling of lanterns, which is the Knight of Wands energy. There's some new boldness coming your way. You're charting new paths for yourself. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't quite feel like an initiation, more so than like an elevation. Like you've studied, you've done the work, you've done the prayers, and now the reward is matching, like the spiritual rewards are matching that. We also have a, mm, and this might be connected to some things that have been happening very recently, but the Five of Flags, or the Five of Swords is here. Um, and oh, period. And so, so okay, yeah, it's like an elevation. Like I didn't get the sense of like, ooh, super brand new. It's like this initiation is like just bringing you closer to, yeah, your destiny and alignment. The Five of Flags, which is the Five of Swords here, talks about some strife. It is actually meant for you to like have this experience right now. Lean into some of that discomfort in the sense that it's pushing you to say whatever the fuck. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Whatever needs to be said. Whatever needs to be said. And let the chips fall where they may. For some of the people in your life, particularly those who haven't been taking you that seriously, they need to feel the earth open up beneath them. They need to understand that they have been standing upright and in good graces at your mercy. It's time to allow those who have hurt you, who would bring strife to your life, dead or alive, uh, to face the consequences of their actions and to know what's good, know how you feel. Yeah, you moving into a space of being like unfuckwittable. And it's really very important that you do not carry any guilt about that. There is no need to perform suffering. Yeah. Also, no need to perform that you don't know what you're doing. We have the Seven of Plants here in reverse. No need to act like you don't know. You don't know. You know. You know what you know. And you know what you know. Ashe. Okay. Oh, for Marcus. Motown Marcus. The ancestors envelop you now. The ancestors envelop you now. Your mother smiles. She says, "Thank you for remembering me. Thank you for holding me in that space in your heart. Thank you for refusing to let me go." There are some things that you will release. The rest of this year, The guidance is for you to let go. Let go of every thought form that does not serve you, does not serve your highest good. Those thought forms would be the ones that would lie to you and say that you are a failure, that you don't know what you know. Those thought forms are the ones that tell you not to do nothing, not to move on nothing, not to move on those thoughts, those creative ideas, because who's going to invest in that? Who's going to care about that? Who wants to hear that? Who wants to see that? Don't let the past numbers, the past rejections, those who could not see you for you, determine how you move forward in the future. Don't let the number, the age, dissuade you. It is the lie of white supremacy and a part of the function of their non-humanness to say that everything that is great that can be done has to happen in the first 30 years of your life. Think about it. And this is more generally, how ridiculous does that sound? Everything good that you're supposed to do, everything great that you're supposed to do in your life has to happen in the first third of it? No. Things that come to you now as you grow older, as you double down on your own love and appreciation and self-sight, right? These are things that are supposed to make these days and the rest of your long life feel sweet, feel great. There is so much more to know and to discover. I don't know if you're writing a play, but if you aren't writing a play, if that sounds like something that's in your bag or in your imagination to do, finish it. No, you have so many more great accomplishments ahead of you. And your ancestors commend you for surviving. That willpower of yours is one of your biggest gifts. This one? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have the Queen of Wands here, the Queen of Lanterns. You growing in your personal power and your sexiness. Them lovers, yeah, the lovers that you seek, they come on the other side of you, betting on yourself, allowing yourself to be more visible. Because you desire someone who admires you. But how can they admire you if they can't see you? If you hide in a corner in the dark, how they gonna admire you? They can't see you. You have to be seen. And don't be afraid to share your joys, all right, your triumphs, as well as your struggles. Yeah. Yeah, your mother especially has just deep gratitude because the work, like you're remembering her, the elevation work that you do, that it's allowing her to serve as an elevated ancestor, because some of the ways in which she lived her life on earth did not allow for that. Oof. Yeah, we have the Four of Lanterns here. Yes, you got to go outside, boo boo. You want somebody to admire you, eat you up, pour into you. They're going to be outside. We have the Four of Lanterns. And it came out in reverse. For me, that speaks to a delay in the victory. This delay in your victory is deeply connected to your own sense of self-worth and knowledge. You have such a strong, that willpower is a gift, right? You have the ability to see. You have the ability to pick like song, right? This songwriting and writing. But there's like I said, these thought forms that keep you from fully trusting in yourself. These thought forms are definitely the result of, um, yeah, some words that have been thrown your way. We have the Seven of Flags here, which is the Seven of Swords. Some people try to fight you on your knowing. Some people try to fight you, tell you that you aren't who you say you are. You aren't who you know yourself to be. They want to put you in a position in which you don't know which skills, which talents, right, actually truly belong to you, and which deficits have been projected onto you. It's so important for you to surround yourself with community and with people who love you and support you, because you have such great ideas that are waiting to be seen and felt and known. Just get this sense that there's like a play or something. I don't know, something like that. And for the healing in your body, and especially, right, this journey that you're going through when it comes to your own physical body changes that are happening, your spirits encourage you to think about ways that you can creatively channel that fear, that anxiety into something. Perhaps that's the content of the play, right? The journey, the changes, right? The healing, or the content for the Substack, or the content for however you choose to share this, right? If you want to be even more visible and get on YouTube, there. The shift in your life comes when you fully 10 toes down, 10 fingers down, 2 ears, 2 eyes, well, really 3 eyes, crown down into it. And because the ancestors are really, really coming through strongly for you, like I feel them in my deck. And I hope that you feel their comfort. It's like a comforting back, not that push, like a comfort. The first I pulled from Grandma Baby's deck because the ancestors came through strongly. The first one is bouquet. And it says, no tree is consumed with blooming like a rose. It trusts itself implicitly. It trusts it is divine. It trusts the unseen forces which guide it out of the darkness up into the sky. It is not concerned with hierarchies or ornament because those are people problems. It knows medicine sits in flower, in the weed alike. What we're looking for here, we can't find outside of ourselves. Jesus said, the kingdom is in you. Why is it so hard to believe? We have to trust ourselves, the knowing in our gut. Trust that there is more to what we're seeing or experiencing than meets the eye. This card asks for us to rely on our spiritual senses as much as our physical ones. Our intuition is a gift, and we should never dishonor a gift. For all flesh is as grass, and all the glory of man as the flower of grass. The grass withereth, and the flower thereof falleth away, but the word of the Lord endureth forever. And this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you. 1 Peter 1:24-25. The second one is house. And this card speaks to foundations. Period. Haven't found the angle yet. It's giving journey. It's giving triumph. We have a praise report. I am praising with you. We thank the Most High God. We thank the ancestors. We thank all the gods involved towards your highest will, that there is no cancer in your body. I celebrate that. I celebrate that. You know, I have lost so many family members to cancer. So I have a special praise for you, for your body. We're so grateful. We're so thankful. I'm so grateful, so thankful. Thank you for sharing that. House talks about foundations. The house warns of where we've built on top of weak foundations and left others out in the cold. In all that we are working to create and build, we must consider who all we are building it for, who at whose expense. It might be our own. Excuse me. Consider the values and principles we want our lives to be built on. Will they stand up to the test of time? In moments we find ourselves unsure of who we really are, here is a test. Fall down and see what rises. It is sometimes the most powerful thing we can do, to crumble like a wave, to instead of working so hard to hold a broken thing together, start over better. And Marcus, so it might help you to listen to the water sign collective message around release, moving forward, movement. That might be helpful. The last one is chain. Yeah. So chain speaks to stagnancy. When we think of bondage, we conjure to mind chains or bars. But the best kind of prison is one someone builds inside of us that we have come to accept as our home. The borders that they draw and we decorate, the cage we nest inside, the laws we gleefully abide, the sentences we justify. This card asks us to step outside of our comfort zone as often as possible. But sometimes stagnancy can masquerade as safety. Existing only within the confines of the familiar is the coziest of death traps. We must allow ourselves to discover new modes of being, new ideas and activities, or we must literally move. Let trapped energy find release. Let freedom be a destination that keeps evolving and decolonizing itself. So I don't know if you've done your praise dance yet, but I would say it's time. It's time. Ashe. I'm so happy for you. I have so much joy hearing that. I've been praying. I have been praying. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Marx's ancestors. I send y'all on y'all way. Y'all praising too. Yes. They love you and they're with you. And they just remind you, you are never, never alone. Never, ever alone. Whew. Those spirits that move with Big D, Donnecia, those that love her and know her. What messages do y'all have for her today? Okay. Everybody getting, yeah. This one. Period. Now, I know you are fire sign. So this, yeah, ring shouting, like moving that energy up and out, is so going to be so important for you, Marcus. That is one way we help these kind of illnesses not settle in our bodies by speaking and releasing. For Donnecia, we have the Queen of Lanterns. So you in your you in your big mama energy. You in your don't bring nothing to me that I don't want to receive energy. This is buttressed by the Chariot. The call for you to continue this work that you've been doing of taking charge and taking lead in your life, determining yourself for yourself. It is essential that you continue on this path. Your ancestors also say these worries that you're holding, we have the 9 of flags here. So these concerns that you're holding, particularly when it comes to family, sickness in family, folks, and the grief that comes with that, right? The fear of loss that comes with that, the fear of loneliness that comes with that. They want you to imagine that you can lose something or someone and still be whole. They want you to imagine that things can shift and change and you can still be stable. That doesn't mean you don't grieve. That don't mean you don't cry. That don't mean that and you post about this, you went out, you was crying, you went outside, it was raining. You know the heavens respond to you, right? How you feel. The earth responds to you. But while you're holding and moving through these different crises, these moments of grief, these moments of loss, these moments of like sickness, calamity, disaster, hold on to the fact that you are still the champion, the leader, right? The keeper of your life. Some emotional support and strength will come to you too. We have the Elder of Chalices here. So you are reaching a place where your emotional fulfillment will also carry you through these challenges, through these hard times. Those runs to the river, those moments where you're using your hands to make your products, your spiritual products, those moments where you're using your own brilliant mind and your sharp tongue to speak life and wholeness into others. All of those things are helping you to continue to build, because you are very resilient. Continue to build your resiliency during this time. I can't speak to the duration of the challenge, but what I can speak to is that you are in alignment with your destiny at this time. And the growth, the expansion, the it's all like it this definitely gets like an initiation kind of feel to it. Like there is a period of change. How do I say this? The lows and the highs together come together to help change you and grow you, right? These initiations, people talk about initiations, and I know it in some ways folk kind of tend to focus on the kind of end product of it, right? The newness, the the new way of life, the new way of being. But initiations are really about that in between time, that moment from when you start, right? And you're that new person, that fool, right? The inevitable highs and lows that come with that, the shifts and changes, the things that are out of your control that kind of force you to surrender. And then the person who comes out on the other side, hopefully more emotionally regulated, hopefully more in love with themselves, that is you. And when you are done with your own kind of hermit period, your period of rest and restoration, you, of course, are going to, people can't meet you at the same price they used to meet you, but there's going to be a new element to your practice, one that allows you to take on clients in a more sustainable container. So start thinking and dreaming about what you would offer someone. Um, yeah, after your break, after your time, think about what you would offer someone for $5,000. If someone said, I have $5,000, Donnecia, I would like some spiritual support from you, what would you offer them? And then take that list of offerings and take out about a third of that, because that's worth more than 5,000. Now you're not about to be like that doctor that everybody was shading on Threads that had that subscription service. I mean, it's not gonna be like that. But it's definitely gonna be a shift and a change in your practice that feels more sustainable. Mm, it's kind of like how I imagine Annie and Sinners was living. Like there were folks who were on the payroll in a sense, or had Annie on the payroll. They were long-term, consistent um, clients, right? Community members who paid into sustaining Annie's life. There are going to be folks who reach out to you who want that kind of support on a more long-term basis and who have the means or have the hands, right, to afford that. Price it accordingly. And always, yeah, don't think that you have to offer so much more because folks are paying more. Think about it as folks are paying you for what this work is worth to them. Period. So you're doing work at a wellness farm. I'm seeing like individual people like literally the what I see is like people with like money in their hands, like they come into you like this, and you're sitting at like a desk thing, and they just like handing this to you. They're just like kind of sliding it to you. That's what I'm seeing. So take your time, take your rest, and yeah, if it feels like a challenge to think about it now, take the break, take the brain break, and come back to it when you're done. But that is something that, your spirits want you to bet on yourself this time. Deja. Deja. Oh, sweet Deja, sexy Deja, sexy lady. Give me your number, girl. Sexy lady. Give me your number, girl. I don't know. I don't know who's singing that to you. Somebody wanna be on your line. I know you partnered. I know that. I don't know too much about the dynamics of that. But it's giving much more like more so like a spirit is singing it. I don't know if you've been doing glamour stuff lately. But that might be a song to add to the glamour works. If you've been doing glamour work, that might be a song to add to it. Spirit, what's messages do you have for Deja? Deja, one of them is we gotta up the prices on some of your experiences. And let people work it out. Let people work it out how they're gonna pay for it. But allow people the opportunity to invest in you and your practice at this time. Don't let nobody shortchange you. Don't let nobody shortchange you. Don't let nobody cheat you out of nothing. Can I get some more cards for Deja? Yeah. Yeah, somebody owe you something. Honey. Somebody owe you something. Yeah, there's like let me stop shuffling so I can say this clearly. There is a karmic justice for you that's coming. And it's something that will bring you to a new level when it comes to your finances, but also will elevate you when it comes to your career. This is something that you could not have imagined. But there's an ancestor of yours who had an injustice done to them. This ancestor is someone who pours into you in the realm of your talents, your ability to help people, particularly help women heal, comes from her. Someone stole from her. And though she could not recover that in her lifetime because she gave so much of her life to a man. Yeah, so part of your journey in queerness was part of that kind of rebalancing, right? Men not gonna take nothing from you. There's also a karmic justice here and an abundance. The biggest thing that you can do for yourself right now in regards to that, to receive that, one is to rest as you are able. So you are working, you've implemented some new programs, some new things that you're doing for your own practice, your business, etc. You're taking on folks who helping you to delegate, right? When you have opportunities to rest, rest completely. Do not spend that time like scrolling. Don't spend that time kind of being plugged in, tapped into what the fuck is going on. Rest and allow yourself to fully rest and rest knowing that, that your due is coming to you in both an ancestral sense, in a karmic sense, but also financially. And part of the way that that's going to come to you is through you recognizing your own worth through your prices, and allowing people to meet you where you are versus always trying to meet others where they are. It's okay to, um, yeah, to stay where you're at. It is perfectly okay to allow others the opportunity to grow, figure it out for themselves, or whatever it is they need to do to be able to reach you. We also have the Seven of Lanterns here, which, when I see the Seven of Wands, makes me think about conflict and strife, but that's not really the sense that I get here. I don't get the sense that this is really speaking to conflict and strife in your own life and your own battles with that, your own self-protection, but more so thinking about how, like, what it is from your own life that you use as methods of self-protection. What are the stories that you're telling yourself, the connections that you're denying yourself at this time because you feel like isolation is what protects you? What are the things that you are denying yourself because you feel like you have to do things alone? Yeah, you've been really practicing letting those who love you hold certain things. But what are those things that you find and hold precious? Maybe even things that you see as like self-definitional that actually um, aren't useful or serve you or as protective as they are just kind of like shutting others out. You can trust that you have good discernment. You can trust that your grief can lead you to a wellspring of life. Grief does not always have to be a space, time, place that leaves us on an island. Mm. Yeah, it's time to grow some connections, some true platonic ones, and not ones where people asking you to solve their problems. Mm-mm. Some solution oriented people, some people who want to help you solve yours. Yeah, the Nine of Cups in reverse. Yeah, you are extremely self-sufficient person. You're someone who gets shit done. You know what personal fulfillment feels like and looks like at different aspects and journeys of your life, or different aspects of the journey of your life. And now is a time for you to allow others to pour into you. And you might find that like glamour magic is one way to help you kind of steel yourself for that visibility that's required to invite others to take part in your life. Even if it's a simple ritual of, yeah, just doing whatever you want to do with your hair and putting on the makeup, turning the camera on, recording whatever you need to record. If it's a simple ritual of doing all of that, putting on that sexy lady outfit and going ahead and going out to the bars, going on dates with your loved ones, both platonic and romantic, right? Allowing yourself to bask in your own glory and seeing that as part of your ancestral inheritance, as part of what you have, yeah, what you have, quote unquote, earned through your survival. I just see you just being like dolled up, titty forward, titties the outfit, receiving all the compliments, Someone being like, let me buy your drink in this economy. Let me buy your drink. Let me treat you to things. Allow yourself to truly bask in the goodness that is yours. That is part of your karmic due. And there's no need to feel guilt about that. Yeah, you'll be the last person. If you want to be on the list, you'll be the last one. Okay. Mm. You're so welcome, Deja. Don't forget to post pictures now. Let those of us who thirst, let those of us who thirst see. I've been so blessed lately. All the beautiful black women on my timeline. I be like, thank God. Thank God, bitches gay. I get to really appreciate what is in front of me. Yes. I'm trying to get all the girls out. Jeida too. I'm trying to get Jeida out I'm trying to get everybody out. I love to see it. Spirits. Ancestors of the highest benevolence. Those spirit guides that know and love Thulani. What messages do you have? Oof. Period. Can we get one more card here? Okay. Thulani, you are entering into a period in which you are going to be building a foundation for the next decade of your life. There will be some major shifts coming to you. The thing that you must keep in mind, though, is that you cannot give so much of yourself to a lover that you feel like you don't have enough of you to do your work. You cannot give so much of yourself to a cause that there is not enough of you to do your work. If you find that you are not able to tend to the foundational things, that is eating, drinking, clothing, bathing, then it is time for you to release whatever is burdening you and whoever might be burdening you, regardless of what they say. You releasing, in particular, it feels like it's a couple people. You releasing them is not an indication that you are not who you say you are, that you're not living according to your integrity or your values. It is a choice to survive because ultimately your ancestors delight in your survival. And because I know a little bit about you, I know Taurus, you know, y'all struggle with letting things go. We have the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Chalices in reverse here. Yeah. Those things that have left you, those things that you no longer have, those people, the relationships, they're supposed to leave. Again, you're shifting into a different phase of your life. It's okay to grieve and to let them go. And it might be helpful for you to go back and listen to the earth sign message where it talks about accepting yourself, flaws and all. There's no such thing as perfection. You'll never be a perfect activist. You'll never be a perfect person. It's okay if you've hurt people. And though we don't like to think about it like this, it's okay if others have hurt you. It's okay to allow yourself to feel that pain and to allow it to move you towards greater self love and self completion and move away from self betrayal. Recognizing a person as a source of your pain is not necessarily dehumanizing them. It is just simply the recognition that, yeah, y'all are not in alignment. You're not incompatible. You don't have to demonize it either. Or worse, internalize it and say there's something wrong with yourself because you feel that way. No, you can heal and grow. You're establishing a new foundation for yourself in the midst of that healing. With the 4 plants here. Yeah, your life is about to be unrecognizable. You are going to be unrecognizable. This might also be a period where, and the Lover's card is here. It is here. It's not necessarily indicative of romantic relationships. Though you may find some, one thing I know about a Taurus is y'all keep a base, so I ain't gonna speak on that. That's on y'all. What I am gonna speak to though is the spiritual call for thinking about what it means to find such fulfillment in yourself, right? That someone outside of you can only complement that. What would it feel like or be like? What would life look like if you had lovers that you didn't have to take care of in the same way that you have in the past? What if you allowed yourself to fill your, what is it that folks call it? Your garden, your relationship garden, with folks that are able to pour into you and to help you establish security and stability versus you being that person for them. You don't have to save nobody but yourself now. Rejoice in that. That's a privilege. That's a privilege. For your responsibility to be yourself, it's a privilege. And it is a duty, an obligation. There's also a warning, or more so a caution, around being too moving with too much speed when it comes to your work. So allowing yourself to slow down, to take account of what's happening in you and around you, and allowing yourself to move from a space of just deep and thoughtful action. If you find yourself in arrangements, business arrangements, or other kinds of arrangements where folks are not giving you the time to make decisions, are not giving you the time to like take that deep, thoughtful action, it's misaligned. You don't got to find no reason to why within yourself about why you're not good enough to operate at their pace. You need to move at your own pace. You need to move at your own pace, because ultimately your spirits are trying to prepare you for an elevation, a spiritual elevation where you work with others, where you're healing others, but you have you move towards martyrdom with such a familiarity and a quickness that they're hesitant to allow that elevation to really happen. They want you to be selfish. They want you to be selfish. They want you to put yourself back in the center of your life. Hmm. I'm going to share a blessing with you, and then that'll be the last thing. And I just said talk about being red. I'm screaming. It every once in a while it happens. Can I get a blessing for them, please? This one. Okay. This one says the blessing of letting go. So they're doubling down on this one. Free yourself from negative entanglements by letting go of emotional ties, beliefs, and outdated ways of thinking that no longer serve you. You have the power. That which you let go will transform into an endless blessing. Mm, thank you. Thank you all for joining me on this live. Thanks for welcoming back with such welcome hands. I pray a special blessing over each of you, whether you're hearing this live or later. I pray that you remember that your ancestors love you. I pray that you remember that you are meant to survive these times. I pray that you remember that survival is a shared burden, that those who love you must see you, that those who love you must know you. Not only know you, but know the contours and the depths of your suffering. Anyone who would shy away from you at a time of suffering is not someone who has the capacity to love you. I pray for the abundance that is yours, the destiny that is yours to meet you. May your Ori, may your spirit, may your own inner being know. May you continue to move in integrity and in alignment. May every negative force, may every enemy, every battle that is not meant to grow you but to destroy you be one that you circumvent through the power of your spirits, through the power of those that move with you, through your own power, through the blessing of the word no. May the adversity that is not meant to grow you, that is not meant to initiate you into higher levels of spiritual knowing and being, miss you through the power of your own word no. May your discernment increase. May your love for yourself, for the land, and for others increase. And may every soul lesson integrate with ease. I love y'all. I will see you next time. Bye.